Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. What I want to talk to you about today is something that a lot of people have misconceptions about. This is something I made a comment once on Facebook, and they came back with, "Oh, disabled people don't have stress. We may not have work stress, but we have other kinds of stress, different kinds of stress." What I mean by that is that we do have, most of us live on a fixed income, so that causes us stress because we have to budget more strictly than others. So let me give you another comment of stress. People that don't understand us, people that may think that we don't know how to. For example, with me, they said one time they told me that I did not know how to talk. And because they assume, and some people have this assumption that we have a beautiful life. Could you imagine having a stressful of having to know you have a surgery, biopsy, whatever, and knowing that on top of that you still have your disability, which happened to me. And it's so hard, when people misunderstand us and we can't, and they think, oh no, this person has a great life because he doesn't have stress. Yeah, but we don't have the same stress, but we have different stress. For example, it's stressful when we're trying to go to a doctor and we're using special transportation and they don't show up when they want to, and all this, all these things. Let me give you an example of something that happened to me. One time I was going to a doctor. I had drank a cup of coffee in the morning. And I went there, and I was, and then my STS ride was an hour late. So, they took my blood pressure, and then they took my pulse ox, which was abnormal for me. So what I didn't say anything to the medical assistant because, I didn't want her to think I was doing things that were not, to justify this and to minimize what she was doing. So I said, no, I'm not going to. So I didn't say anything to her. I spoke to the doctor, and, when the doctor came in, I spoke to her, and she goes, and I go, and she goes, your blood pressure's up. I said, yes, I know. I had a stressful morning, and on top of that, I had coffee. So one of the ways that I handle that stress of going to the doctor is I don't take stimulants. I don't. It's that type of thing. And when you want to go out with friends and they don't show up on time, it's difficult. So it's not the same stress, but it's a lot. We still have stresses, and we have to budget. And it's I'm not saying that people that work don't have to budget, but they have more flexibility, and you have to worry about this. You have to worry about what you say on social media, what you say here, what you say there, because you don't want things to be misconstrued. It's just a totally different thing. And then maybe you have the same family issues, and it's difficult. Really, it is. It's not something that we want to do. And some people have this misconception religiously. I don't talk about this, but this one I'm passionate about. I had an aunt of mine tell me that I chose to be disabled. Who would choose to be disabled? Who would choose to have dyslexia? Who would choose these things? Who would choose disability? Who would choose this? This is a hard life. This is harder than a regular person's life that walks. I'm not saying normal because we're not normal. I used to use that term when I was a kid, but no, I'll tell you that. No. Who would choose to be disabled? I won't use a person's name. I will definitely not use that. But I will tell you, it is not right for people to just say this and judge us and tell us that we are choosing to do this thing. Maybe some religions feel that way, but no, I don't agree with them because I feel that that is not right. I mean, I would love to be able to walk, not use a wheelchair. I would love to be able to drive, go where I want to go without any problem. Honestly, I would love to do these things, but I cannot. I cannot, and that's life. It's something that we have to deal with. And I'm sorry for that vehicle that just passed by. I have open windows and it made noise. So today I'm not running my air conditioner because it's not as hot. So anyway, I'll go back to my point. Yeah, it is different. The stress is different. It is something that we don't choose to deal with. Excuse me. All people have stresses, but our stresses are different. But don't minimize us and tell us that we don't have stress. Don't do that to us. That's, to me, inappropriate because you don't know what we're going through. You don't know the back history of our lives and all these things. You don't know this. You don't know all these things. And people don't judge us. Let us do what we need to do. Just let us. And if we tell you we have stress, don't come and minimize it and say we don't. That's annoying because it may not be the stress you have, but it's similar stress or different stress, but it causes the same problem. With that, let me say, in closing, let me say thank you for listening to this episode of The Disabled Life. You can follow me on the following platforms. You can follow me at Good Pods. You can leave comments, messages there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Disabled Guy. And you can also listen to me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many others. Once again, thank you for listening. And I'll also give you my email. My email is Kilo Echo 4, Kilo Echo Yankee, or KE4 KEY at gmail.com. Once again, thank you. And thank you for your support. And I'll see you next week. Welcome to this noise. Let me go into something here that I'm going to say. You can also follow me. You can also follow me and rate me and leave me messages on Spotify. On Spotify, you can leave me a message there and ratings there, and I would appreciate that so much. Thank you.